Welcome, guys and girls, to the Main Event Podcast, the only podcast you need for all your weekly updates, news, information, rumours, and entertainment surrounding the WWE. My name is Reza, and as you're probably wondering, again, I am alone. No robots, no Imran, no Arif, no computers, just me on this week's episode. And that, again, is because of exams and other things in our schedule as well, and that's why this episode is a couple of days late as well, so I personally do apologise for that. I believe this and perhaps the next episode I will be alone. I'm not 100% sure that Imran and Arif might be back next week, but we'll have to wait and see, and I'm sure you can understand what is going on. But never mind, as they say, the show must go on, and again, apologies for the delay in uploading. The summer break is almost upon us, so hopefully the episodes do go up every Tuesday as we already planned. We finished Extreme Rules now, a good pay-per-view, as we now start the build-up to the next event, which is Payback, I believe. We're now at episode 25, a milestone for us, and the 22nd consecutive episode as well. It's very, very, very close to ending our very own streak, which probably isn't that impressive compared to other podcasts, but nevertheless, we are proud of it, and I do have something for you. It might not be the best of content, but yeah, there is something. We're still enjoying this, doing this every single week. What is it? I think about 12 subscribers or something. We're pleased with that. We didn't think we'd ever be accepted on iTunes at one stage or any other platform, so all this is still fun to us, and we wouldn't be at this stage if it wasn't for those of you that listen to us every single week, those of you that recommend us, those of you that download and support. We've always said, even if one individual just tune in every single week and listens, we are more than happy. So yeah, a big thank you to the fans and friends of the Main Event Podcast, Facebook, Twitter. Again, I'm having good WWE related conversations with some of you, which is good. That's exactly what we want to see. If you do find us on Facebook or Twitter or anything else we're on, just feel free to add us. I'm sure Arif and Imran don't mind either. We will talk all things WWE. We love it, and if you're listening, we're guessing you love it as well. Our content is not only on YouTube, but if you use iTunes, you can download our episodes there every single week. BlackBerry users, you can find us on your podcast store, if that's what it's called. Podomatic, as well as Stitcher.com. Sorry, there's no Stitcher slogan today, no Arif. 20,000 plus radio shows which you can listen to on the go, including us. And we are in the top 10,000 in the rankings, so that's a great feat for us as well. And hopefully we continue to rise up in the charts there. And hopefully you guys download our shows as well. That as well is equally as important to us. As always, we want to hear from you in any way and every way possible. Like us on Facebook at the Main Event Podcast. Send us an email at tmepodcast@gmail.com. And of course, please visit our website www.tme-podcast.com, podcast with a P, for all our not so latest content and information. But yeah, do get in touch. We'd love to hear more about you, about our love for the WWE, about what you like, the current product, our superstars, predictions, things like that. And of course, as we've been saying for the past few weeks now, our latest feature involves you filling out a simple application form. Send us an email, a comment, or a tweet even, simply saying, "Ray, it's my birthday." That then tells Arif to serenade you with his very own happy birthday, creepy Mysterio edition. That's something everyone wants. That's like the greatest gift you get on your birthday. And we hope that you stick with us as we continue our journey to become a top or even a recognisable WWE podcast. Right then, this week I hope to have some good stuff lined up for you. Probably not like every week, but something is better than nothing. Still have the reviews, the news, and obviously I can't discuss things while I'm by myself. As much as I say I love it, that's not the case. Last week we obviously went through our Extreme Rules predictions, where myself and Imran provided our picks in the hope of having to avoid reviewing Christmas Bounty and episode 1 of Legends House. It was bittersweet, as Arif said last week. But yeah, stay tuned for a little later on where I will honestly run down the predictions, and it will be revealed who has to review Christmas Bounty and episode 1 of Legends House. Let's get into it then. I never thought I'd have to do this again, but it seems I'm being forced. I'm so close to clicking stop record, but we still have to review SmackDown. Actually, before we move on, we've tried something new on our channel, same channel as the podcast. There's a new video up. I hope you can check that out. It's one of our latest videos, the greatest disses of 2013. Something we put together and hope you enjoy, so we can do more in the future if you like it. I will put a link in the description if you are interested in having a look, possibly sharing it as well. I don't think I can put off SmackDown any longer, can I? No. But yeah, SmackDown, it's the 1st of May edition from Kansas City, Missouri. Welcome to Friday Night SmackDown. We kick things off with a video package which is recapping the Shield and Evolution program we've seen thus far. The Wyatt family take on the Usos and Sheamus in the first match. The Wyatt family basically win that. But after the match, there's a big brawl. But the Wyatt family get the advantage and they basically lay out everyone. Contract signing time between Hornswoggle and El Torito. Apparently Hornswoggle has some demands he wants. He wants M&M's, greatest hits of 3MB. That's something I want as well. 10 copies of a DVD, and then El Torito starts talking. He says if you mess with the bull, then you get the horns. They then sing and then see who is the taller man. That just ends in a brawl. El Torito gets the better of Hornswoggle, and we just wasted like, I don't know, 5 minutes of our lives on that. But yeah, if you like midgets fighting, if that's your thing, then yeah, you probably enjoyed it. R-Truth vs Alexander Rusev. Rusev won via disqualification when Xavier Woods attacked him. Woods took out Rusev on the outside and they just stood tall in the ring. Daniel Bryan, he makes his way out to the ring. He says that we take care of our families. This Sunday he will walk in and walk out as the champion. This is just more than championships. It's about being beat up, beaten down, and Kane putting his hands on his wife. This is a war. Kane will be going home, which is straight to hell. Kane then comes on the big screen. He says that going to hell is not a bad thing. When they arrive there together, he'll give you a tour. Then a Kane video package is shown. That's pretty decent from Kane as well. Some good stuff there. Dolph Ziggler vs Damien Sandow. Dolph won that match. Big E versus Titus O'Neil. Big E won that match. Then Big E just attacked Titus O'Neil and laid him out after it. After a commercial break, we see a video package. This time it is the John Cena and Bray Wyatt feud which has been going on. Bray Wyatt does a backstage promo about John Cena and obviously that brilliant Monday night segment we saw on Raw involving the choir. He says he will lead the light for the children. This Sunday he will be taking all of the C Nation with him and they will all be his. We're treated to a United States title match, a rare defense from Dean Ambrose. He takes on Ryback, Curtis Axel and Alberto Del Rio. A decent match, but basically Ambrose rolls up Axel for the win. There was a little tease of a breakup as well. Curtis Axel stopped Ryback from winning. But yeah, Ambrose rolled up Axel for the win. Dean Ambrose retains his championship. But after the match, Ryback and Curtis Axel attacked Ambrose. The Shield came out to make the save, which then resulted in a triple powerbomb on Axel to end this edition of SmackDown. It wasn't the best of SmackDowns, especially when you consider that this is the final SmackDown before Extreme Rules, which looked like a decent card at that time. But then again, it wasn't the worst. The start was a bit dry, but it did pick up towards the latter stages of the event. Saying that, I can't give it a higher rating. I am being generous, going with 2 out of 5. I didn't really enjoy it. I'm sure Imran will probably give it a 3.5 out of 5, but yeah, that's just how we review our shows. Moving on, that obviously led into the highly anticipated Extreme Rules event. A number of good matches on the line. The Izod Center in East Rutherford, New Jersey, hosting this one, May 4th, 2014. The first match is the WLC match, El Torito vs Hornswoggle. We're introduced to the commentators, but instead we're treated to a bunch of midgets doing a special commentary. We have JB Elf, Micro Cole, and Jerry Smaller. Expectations weren't that high before this match, but I will be the first to admit that was a decent match, a good pre-show match. I was actually surprised by how well it went. Quite entertaining, better than it was made out to be. El Torito did pick up the victory after putting Hornswoggle through a mini table. Pretty good spots there as well. After the WLC match, some more highlights and video packages are shown, as well as a quick backstage promo from Zeb Coulter. He didn't really say anything of note, nothing specific, before the main card, where the triple threat elimination match starts things off. Cesaro taking on RVD and Jack Swagger, triple threat. Jack Swagger was eliminated first, followed by Rob Van Dam, which meant Cesaro picked up the victory. We go backstage. Daniel Bryan and Stephanie McMahon will see a doctor checking on Daniel Bryan's condition. Stephanie McMahon walks in with her serious / sad face that she's putting on. She basically warns Bryan that she can't control Kane now that he's under the mask again, and now that he's the monster as well. Steph tells Bryan that he doesn't have to compete tonight if he doesn't want to. She says he can surrender the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Daniel Bryan tells Stephanie to get out of my face. He says he's walking in as a champion tonight and somehow he will find a way to walk out the same. Steph says he may not even be walking out tonight, and furthermore he's going to end up as Kane's bitch. She walks off as the fans in the arena gasp. I don't know what to make of that. It was a decent promo. Stephanie obviously with her bad acting, but yeah, something to I guess look forward to towards the end of the night. Alexander Rusev making his pay-per-view debut, obviously with Lana, as he takes on R-Truth and Xavier Woods in a 2-on-1 handicap match. The Ravishing Russian is introduced. Lana says she and Rusev are dedicating tonight's match to the President of Russia, Vladimir Putin. Obviously, that garnered a major heat with what's going on. After that, she introduces Rusev, the Bulgarian brute, then makes her way to the ring. Truth dedicates the match to the United States of America. Interesting thing was Woods was on his way to the ring, but Rusev floored him. I think that just took him out of the match. So basically making it 1-on-1. Nothing special. Lana ordered Rusev to crush him from the outside. Rusev obliged, applied the accolade, and Truth tapped out. Rusev wins on his pay-per-view debut. That is really good for him. But after the match, as Rusev and Lana were walking out, Lana ordered Rusev to crush him some more. Rusev attacked Truth, hitting a big fall-away slam on him as his music hit, and finally he did make his way to the back. A big statement from Rusev on his debut on a pay-per-view. We go backstage where Renee Young, also known as Lover Girl, if you're a fan of Arif, she's talking with Evolution backstage. Triple H starts off the promo. He addresses Evolution's egos and how the Shield said it will be their downfall. Triple H puts over Batista, Randy Orton, and then himself. Orton follows up by guaranteeing that the Shield will perish tonight. He closes by saying you can believe in that. All three bump fists like the Shield do, and that ends their backstage segment. WWE Intercontinental Championship now. Big E defending the gold against Bad News Barrett. Barrett went for the bullhammer elbow towards the end in a decent match as well. Big E avoided it and floored Barrett. Big E firing up, he pulls down his straps, whips Barrett into the ropes, but Barrett ducks, hits the opposite ropes and comes flying off with a successful bullhammer elbow, a brilliant bullhammer elbow. He immediately covers the champion. 1, 2, 3, new Intercontinental WWE Intercontinental Champion. Good match, and yeah, I enjoyed it for one. I'm sure Imran didn't because of the result. A faction versus faction match now, Evolution versus the Shield. The video package is shown to tell everyone the story behind this feud. After the video package, Evolution's theme music hits and out walks Triple H, Batista and Randy Orton. All three members stretch, they're preparing the ring. And the fans are really into this. Before the Shield are even out, they start chanting Shield a couple of times before the Shield keep them waiting, playing the waiting game with Evolution. But finally their music does hit. Brilliant reaction for them. Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, they all make their way down to the ring through the crowd as usual. A long match, but a very good match. I enjoyed every single minute of this, and I think it's safe to say perhaps the best match of the night. The action spilled to the outside. Seth Rollins learned how to fly. That was a brilliant spot as well. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you somehow go and watch it. Batista and Reigns still in the ring, finally get to their feet, and Batista spears Reigns. I thought that was the end, but the fans started booing. Batista missed another attempted move, and Reigns followed up with a Superman punch. Then he hit the spear once the animal got up. Massive spear as well. He covered Batista again. 1, 2, 3 pinfall. Roman Reigns picks up a win for the Shield. A big victory for the Shield. Moving on is the steel cage match. Bray Wyatt with Luke Harper and Eric Rowan on the outside with John Cena. The video package airs showcasing the build up to tonight's steel cage match between the leader of the Wyatt family and the leader of the C Nation. After the video package, Cena's theme music hits, the fans completely erupt with boos. Usually, we say it's mixed reaction, but I think it's not fair to say that was mixed reaction. That was definitely 95% boos in that arena. After Cena's entrance, the Wyatt family come out and, as you expect, exploding with cheers. Great reaction for him, even though the heels. The Wyatt family make their way to the ring. we're just moments away. The steel cage match is definitely on. Again, another great match. Cena and Bray both look good, but what was good that Harper and Rowan, even though they weren't involved in the match per se, they did play a massive part, bigger than expected actually. A number of times they stopped John Cena from escaping the cage. They got steel chairs out, started trying to threaten him, but by the end of it, they were both in the ring. Cena was close to winning the match a couple of times. I genuinely thought Cena had it when he was about to escape from the door, as in his head was out of the door as well. But yeah, the White family cutting happens. When the lights come back on, Cena sees a little kid singing. He's got the whole world in his hands. Only for the kid to have a deep, monster-sounding voice due to obviously an effect on the microphone. Creepy as well. But Cena turned around to get back into the ring. I think little kids with deep voices are probably Cena's kryptonite. That's my guess. But yeah, Cena turned around, went back into the ring, walked right into a Sister Abigail from Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt, with a smile on his face, walked out of the cage door to pick up a big victory. Now, this didn't make sense to me. You've had two of the best matches of the night, two reactions as well that you want from the crowd, and then you go and put on a WWE Divas Championship match between Tamina, who's challenging Paige for the championship. The crowd was electric the entire night. I've got to give credit for that, but they were dead for this one. I don't blame them either. I don't know why you'd have this before the main event, but nevertheless it happened, and there's nothing we can do about it now. It wasn't the best of matches, to be honest. Paige did look a bit rough, that's expected. We didn't expect it to be, have a wrestling masterclass in the ring on the first pay-per-view appearance, but Paige did end up hitting one of her finishes, I believe it was, and the referee went for the count. He actually hit his hand on the mat 3 times, but he didn't finish it, so that was kind of a botch, I'd say. The announcer did try covering for him, but yeah, Tamina went for the super kick. Paige avoided it, countered it into the Paige Turner submission hold. Tamina immediately tapped out. Paige retains her WWE Championship. Actually, is it Paige Turner submission hold, Scorpion Deathlock, whatever you want to call it? That just sounds too dangerous for someone like Paige. Backstage we go now. The Wyatt family are with their little boy. We see Eric Rowan and Luke Harper as Bray Wyatt refers to the little kid as Little Johnny. I guess that's what we're going with now. He says Little Johnny did good tonight, in his weird way of telling a story. Bray basically explains that much like Little Johnny, other kids are going to end up like, basically following the buzzards as well. The kid is then shown wearing an Eric Rowan style sheep mask. Very creepy indeed. Main event time. I don't know if it was just me, but beforehand, I don't think anybody was really looking forward to this match as much as the Shield and Evolution and Bray Wyatt and John Cena. But it was a decent match, to be fair. Extreme stipulation, a couple of weapons here and there. The action went to the back. Brian, used a forklift, which was something good to see. He brought Kane back into the ring. And we even saw Kane fall through a table, which was on fire. So that was a good spot as well. As I said, a decent match, better than expected. Nothing special. Evolution versus Shield was the best of the night. Brian did obviously pick up the victory as well, I should say that. But Kane did sit up as his pyros went off, which signalling a rematch as well, a payback. We'll have to wait and see. I'll give the event a 4 out of 5, mainly because of Bad News Bar's victory, the reaction, Cesaro, Wyatt, the Shield and Evolution match was incredible, and as I said, the crowd as well were really, really into this. But yeah, if you did watch the event, please let us know what you thought in the comments below or on Twitter, Facebook, and we'd love to compare. But yeah, I give it 4 out of 5. I'd love to know what you guys would give it. The third review of the night, breaking all kinds of records here, aren't I? The first and only podcast Olympic medalist by the time this episode's finished. We then move on to Monday Night Raw, where I take on Arif's segment again. This time we're in the Times Union Center in Albany, New York, May the 5th. Yeah, well, welcome to Monday Night Raw. We begin the night with the arrival of the Shield. Dean Ambrose will be defending the United States Championship in a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal. I could go through the list of who's involved and the eliminations, but that would just take too long. I'll just say the final 3 were, Jack Swagger, Dean Ambrose, and Sheamus. Towards the end, Swagger attacked Ambrose and tried to dump him over the top. Ambrose fought back a number of times with Ryback as well. He eliminated Swagger. Sheamus came out of nowhere and hit a massive brogue kick on Ambrose. Then he just chucked Ambrose over the top rope to the floor. Surprisingly, Sheamus is the new United States champion. as the Shield were ringside looking on. While they were tending to Dean Ambrose, Triple H made his way out to the stage while the Shield were in the ring. Triple H says that the last night Evolution and the Shield went to war. He says that last night all three of them were extremely lucky, and that since Ambrose lost the championship, their luck is running out. He says tonight the Shield will be in 6-man tag team action against the Wyatt family. After the commercial, the announcer shows the ending of the Battle Royal and what transpired between Triple H and the Shield, and then Renee Young is... Damn you, Arif. Renee Young is with Sheamus. She asks him how he feels. Sheamus says that since he came back from injury, things haven't gone according to plan. He says it's all about watching and waiting. He said tonight was the perfect time for him to step back into glory. Sheamus tells Dean Ambrose, no hard feelings, fella. We now see Daniel Bryan with Brie Bella. Steph McMahon walks into the locker room. She congratulates Bryan on his victory last night, but says that he angered Kane. She says the only way she can guarantee his safety is to stay in the locker room until his match tonight. The camera then pans to the door as it shuts, and Kane's mask is hanging on the door. Back in the arena, we are joined by RVD. He will be going one-on-one with Cesaro after the commercial break. After it, we are joined by Paul Heyman. He introduces himself. He says, if you haven't heard the breaking news yet, I don't know if you have. There's something we reported a while back. His client Brock Lesnar ended the Undertaker streak at WrestleMania. He then introduces the King of Swing, Cesaro. Then he makes his way to the ring. Towards the end, he landed a couple of hard rights to RVD while he's hanging upside down on the ropes. Surprisingly, he doesn't stop after the 5 count and gets disqualified, so that means Rob Van Dam walks out as the winner. After the match, Cesaro kept attacking RVD while he was upside down. A couple of hard rights, a big boot to the face. Heyman then tells Cesaro to, go, and they make their way back up the ramp. Bray Wyatt shows up and tells us all that they are here as we go to commercial. Back on Raw, we are joined by the Wyatt family inside the ring. Bray says that Abigail always told him that he was born to lead. She told him that one day he will change the world, and he says that he always believed her, but this world we live in has very wicked ways about it. He says that people would always look down on him and would refer to him as a piece of trash. He says that people would call him a nobody, that those people have made this day so sweet for him. Last night he became a somebody. He says that last night John Cena's fear was shown by that of a singing child. We then see what happened last night between John Cena and Bray Wyatt. Bray then says, you can't fool the children, for they are the foundation of the future. He says that their minds are eager to learn and their eyes see right through him. Bray says that John Cena tells everyone that he is a monster. He says that Cena is right, he is a monster. Bray says that Cena says his messages are a lie. He does wish to watch this world burn. He wants the world to burn down so that it can be reborn. That the world will be reborn in the image of him. Cena thinks he does this all for himself. Bray says that Cena is wrong and that he does this one for the children and the starving adults. He says that he does this for the teenage girls that don't think they are beautiful enough. He says he does this for everybody. Bray Wyatt says as of today and every day going forward, John Cena will stand alone. He will also fall alone. Bray says that the children can stand with him and they will never be alone again. Bray says that the children will remember him for what he truly is, God. Bray then sings he's got the whole world in his hands. Incredible segment, as expected from Bray Wyatt. Back on Raw, Ryback is in the ring with Curtis Axel. He will be going one-on-one with Cody Rhodes, who is accompanied by Goldust. The match at the finish, Cody tries to hit a springboard dropkick. Cody goes up to the top rope, but Ryback grabs Cody, hits the shell shock with a 3 count. Winner by pinfall is Ryback, the big guy. We go to the back with Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella again. Brie Bella says she hates being stuck in a locker room like this. Daniel Bryan tells her to stay close to him. The lights now go out and a light comes on with the Kane mask around it. Bryan and Brie run into Stephanie McMahon in the hallway. Stephanie asks them where they are going and that she will have their car brought up to them and to stay put. Oh, isn't she nice? Back on Raw, Los Matadores and El Torito are in the ring to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Fernando says to celebrate El Torito's win last night, they want to celebrate Cinco de Mayo with the WWE Universe. Torito then starts throwing candy into the stands. They're cut off by 3MB. Heath Slater tells everyone that this party isn't going to happen. Slater says you can't have a party without 3MB. He said that the party is now here. Slater said that they can come out to call a truce. Mahal says that this is America and to speak English. Drew McIntyre grabs a microphone, and we're lucky enough to hear him, and said that this isn't a request, this is a demand. Drew says that if they don't listen, they're going to have to ruin their party. Los Matadores huddle up with El Torito and decide that El Torito will give some sweets to Hornswoggle. Hornswoggle then knocks out the sweets of Torito's hands and they start fighting. Los Matadores knocks Jinder and Drew out of the ring and then toss Slater out as well. Torito picks up Hornswoggle on his shoulder and spins him around, and then he goes Hornswoggle in the back with his horns and knocks him out of the ring. Again, just time wasted, filling. Whereas there could have been anything else but that. But yeah, we've got to deal with things like this. After a commercial break, we're back with Kofi Kingston, who's in the ring. He will be going one-on-one with Alexander Rusev. Rusev obviously locks in the accolade. Kofi taps out. We go backstage again as the Bryan and Brie story continues. Bryan holds the door for Brie while she climbs in the car. Bryan looks around for Kane and climbs in the driver's side. Stephanie knocks on the window as it scares Brie. Stephanie tells Bryan that he can't leave yet because he has a match tonight. She also says that if Bryan doesn't compete, he will be stripped off the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Well, I don't know what I would do. But yeah, Bryan does leave the car with Brie Bella. Back on Raw, Alberto Del Rio is in the ring. His match with champion Daniel Bryan is right now. Del Rio towards the end goes for a cross arm breaker, but Daniel Bryan spins around and Del Rio spins around Del Rio and then locks in the yes lock where Del Rio then taps out. So yeah, Daniel Bryan wins by submission. After the match, Kane's music starts up. Bryan and Brie take off up the ramp and to the back. They get to their car. Bryan and Brie both get inside the car, and Bryan says that the car isn't starting. Bryan, the mechanic, checks under the hood. He says that the wire is unplugged. Oh, yeah, that's the problem. A wire is unplugged. Bryan shuts the hood, and Kane is in the back seat, which was good. He kicks Bryan down and lands a big right hand on him. Bryan gets in the car and tries to start it up again. He takes off while Kane is on the hood of the car, and Kane just falls off it and he's knocked out completely for some reason. Bryan gets out of the car and walks over to Kane. Kane sits up and Bryan gets back in the car and drives off. Don't try this at home. Back on Raw, Big E makes his way to the ring. He will be challenging Bad News Barrett for the Intercontinental Championship after he lost it the previous night. Barrett comes out with a mic. He tells everyone he has some bad news. He said that there are going to be some changes around here. He says the slobs in the audience had a champion like Big E, but they will need cosmetic surgery to represent him as champion. Awesome stuff. Big E, again, lets his straps down, which somehow give him superpowers. Goes for the big ending, but Barrett fought out of it and thumb to the eyes of Big E. Barrett connected with a bull hammer elbow, covered for the 3 count. He defeated Big E twice in 2 nights, still Intercontinental Champion. Back on Raw, we are joined by Zeb Colter and Jack Swagger. Zeb grabs a microphone, and this promo was fantastic by Zeb Colter, I will say. Again, if you've not seen it, I recommend you go back and watch it somehow. Zeb says that today isn't Cinco de Mayo for the real Americans. He says for Americans, today is May the 5th. Zeb says that the immigrants in the WWE make him sick. And then he pulls out a deportation list. He says Cesaro and Heyman need to leave. They need to get rid of Emma and Santino, and that Emma can go back to Australia. He then says Sheamus and Paige should leave as well, because it looks like they haven't had sun hit their skin since 1997. And then it happens. Here we go. I know myself and Imran have been looking forward to this since the good old Leo Kruger days in NXT, but he is finally here. Party time all the time. Zeb is cut off by the music of Adam Rose. Rose's posse make their way out, and then they're quickly followed by Adam Rose, who makes his way to the ring, climbs the ring and jumps back off again. Zeb tells Rose to leave, but Rose tells him not to be a lemon, be a rosebud. Swagger tries to attack Rose, but Rose backdrops him over the top of the floor, top of the ropes to the floor. Then Adam Rose's rosebuds get into the ring and start dancing around Zeb Colter, who looks terrified. Colter then somehow escapes and makes it out of the ring as they continue to party. There's his debut. Back on Raw, we are joined by the Wyatt family. They are taking on the Shield in 6-man tag team action in the main event. Again, a good match, as expected, but towards the end, Rollins and Ambrose dive to the outside onto Rowan and Harper. Reigns connects with a Superman punch to Bray in the ring. The other members of the Shield get back into the ring as well. They go for the triple powerbomb, but they are cut off by the music of Evolution, and they make their way out. Rollins and Ambrose dive outside onto Orton, Batista, Harper, and Rowan, taking out all 4. But back in the ring, Reigns connects with a Superman punch to Triple H. This distracts Roman Reigns as Bray runs and hits a running crossbody, followed up by Sister Abigail and covers with a 3 count. The Wyatt family win this match. After the match, Evolution attack the Shield. Orton is on Rollins, Batista is on Ambrose, and Triple H is on Roman Reigns. Batista tosses Ambrose shoulder first into the steel steps. Orton then hits his hanging DDT to Rollins off the top rope as Batista hits a spinebuster to Ambrose on the steel steps. Triple H goes for the pedigree on Reigns, but Reigns hits a back body drop on him. Orton comes out of nowhere with a brilliant RKO to Reigns. Then he does finally hit the pedigree by Triple H onto Roman Reigns. Evolution then set Reigns up for the triple powerbomb and they connect it. They then do the Shield's pause over a fallen and bloodied Roman Reigns. Then pause in front of the WWE Universe as we go off the air. A good, strong episode of Raw, 24 hours after Extreme Rules. I enjoyed it, and it remains a bit clear as to which direction they are going for Payback. There was, the Batista situation was a little up in the air. Was he sticking around? Wasn't he? It looks like he is. But I'd give this show a 4 out of 5 as well. Some good spots, could have been better, but nothing too bad compared to recent weeks. But yeah, again, if you watch Raw, then please let us know in the comments or anywhere else if you enjoyed it, the highlights, who you liked, what didn't you like, what did you make of Adam Rose's debut as well? Did that live up to expectations? Please do let us know that as well. Moving on to my own segment, even though all segments are mine today, just how I like it. Let's move on to the news. The latest on the main event for the WWE Payback pay-per-view, Vince McMahon still kind of wants Daniel Bryan versus Batista as the main event for the show, even though he took a loss in the six-man tag team match at Extreme Rules. Batista was on Raw, but is scheduled to take time off. Whether that happens or not, we'll have to see next week. But yeah, if the original plan was if Batista couldn't be convinced to stay, then they were going to go with Daniel Bryan versus Kane in a buried alive match. But now Batista is staying, but they're still going with that. But I think obviously they can do a lot more with the Shield and Evolution. And I think having Batista in the top picture now just kind of, just ruins it. But yeah, Batista is also reportedly upset over money and pay in the WWE. As we previously said, the original plan was for Batista to face Daniel Bryan at Payback in June, but Batista turned this down. The source says that Batista is frustrated that financially things are panning out differently than what he was told when he agreed to return to WWE. Word backstage is that the money in the WWE isn't great right now, and when you have the kind of money Batista has, it does make it that much easier to walk away. Others are obviously upset, but what option do they have but to endure? They don't have the power or the money like Batista or even CM Punk for that matter, who can just walk out. The infamous Dolphins 1925, who leaks the pay-per-view results moments before they occur. He did the same for Extreme Rules, but he missed one match in his prediction on Sunday. Much like online betting websites, Dolphins picked Evolution to defeat the Shield. The rest of his predictions were correct. According to fan reports, the rumour is that Sheamus fell asleep during the R-Truth Xavier Woods versus Alexander Rusev match at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Fans were reportedly yelling at him to wake up during that match. Obviously, he was part of the Extreme Rules pre-show panel that Sunday. He wasn't involved on the night. The WWE.com profile for Alexander Rusev now says he's from Russia, obviously with that Vladimir Putin reference as well. Both Rusev proclaimed he was from Bulgaria, Lana from Russia. That kind of didn't make sense, but now they decided to go with Russia for both of them. Obviously, the WWE are trying to gain media attention with the Vladimir Putin references, and I believe he's now just going by the name Rusev, much like Cesaro was Antonio Cesaro. I think they have dropped Alexander from the name. According to one source, which I think is probably the general idea going ahead now, Adam Rose's in-ring debut on the main roster is expected to take place at Payback, June 1st, where he is expected to compete against Jack Swagger. Part 1 of the much talked about Jim Ross podcast with Shawn Michaels is live now. A good portion of the show was dedicated to talk of the streak. Interesting podcast, obviously. We know you loved the main event podcast, but please do check that out as well. Shawn Michaels said that he was shocked when the streak was broken. Everyone was stunned, and he said that just one person makes the call. Obviously, everyone else wants to believe, a number of high authoritative figures made the decision, but he said it's only Vince who made the call. But he did reveal, interestingly, that the decision to end the streak came 4 hours before the show. Jim Ross said that he saw The Undertaker at the Hall of Fame ceremony, where he obviously appeared to pay his respects to former manager Paul Bearer. He hugged him and asked him how many more matches he thought he had in him. Taker's response was, "I don't know, I'll let you know in a few hours," obviously referring to the Brock Lesnar match. Shawn did say all the things about Undertaker being beat up are true, but it still had no bearing on the outcome of the match. His personal opinion was that he would have liked to see the Undertaker unbeaten and then retire. But yeah, make of that what you will. Will he come back? Will he not? It's truly up in the air right now. Short Sleeve Sampson. If you don't know him, he played the role of Jerry Smoller, who was mimicking Jerry Lawler on commentary at Extreme Rules during the pre-show. He apparently received massive heat from WWE. This is because he posted a photo on his official Facebook account prior to the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. I think it was a night earlier. The reason for that was the photo. You could just about see John Cena with Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan in the background going over their match. They have immediately told him to take that photo down, but I'm sure you can find it online elsewhere. I don't think he meant it with any bad intentions as well. Probably just soaking in this big moment for him. WWE are planning on continuing the Evolution vs Shield feud at Payback. It's currently believed that the two teams will have another 6-man tag team match, but there is talk of doing 3 singles matches instead between the members of each group. But yeah, they are trying to find some way to make both teams look strong at the exact same time. Another match is Daniel Bryan vs Kane, a Buried Alive match. I think you can expect Bryan to win that. This is the easiest way to write Kane off WWE TV for a while, as he will be doing promotional work for See No Evil 2 during the summer. John Cena vs Bray Wyatt and Adam Rose vs Jack Swagger are also rumoured for Payback. WWE are still planning to split up Cody Rhodes and Goldust and then feud the brothers. WWE has been teasing the split on TV, and Cody will be the heel when the team officially breaks up. This is interesting. According to sources, WWE are no longer considering breaking up the Shield. We've previously said, the company have delayed plans to break up the group because they're getting massive reactions as faces. But if they're stuck with their original plans, then the Shield would have already split up by now. Obviously, that hasn't happened, which is a good thing. But right now, there is no discussion on having the group break up at any time. There are rumours it could happen at Royal Rumble, could happen a little later. We'll have to wait and see. But at the minute, nothing of that sort is happening. WWE has changed some of their originally intended plans for the future. Originally, Randy Orton was going to switch to a face. The company even informed their merchandise department to work on some face items for Orton down the line. That appears to be off right now at this point. The current plan is to have Orton staying heel for the time being. They are looking at 4 stars in order to be the top 4 single baby faces for the future, which is John Cena, Daniel Bryan, Cesaro and Sheamus. As far as Sheamus is concerned, I'm not sure. The original plan was to push him as one of the top baby faces in the company, but it appears they have started a heel turn for him. I'll let you know what I mean by that. WWE does have plans for a Cesaro push in the future as well, a face push. The general consensus right now is that when Cesaro eventually does split from Heyman, he'll enter a program with Lesnar, a match could take place at SummerSlam, quite similar to the Punk, Heyman and Lesnar storyline we saw last year. Another idea is to have Triple H versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam as well. The plan is that if Cesaro goes over on Lesnar and Reigns goes over on Triple H at SummerSlam, it would help them elevate and become top tier baby faces in the company. But obviously, the WWE do map out things far in advance. The plans change every week. What I said today could be completely different next week. So I think that's the plan right now. It turns out that Ric Flair's appearance on Raw last week, it did have a positive impact on WWE. They did enjoy it. They've prompted discussions on having him return in a regular role to television. According to sources, Flair's appearance on Raw resulted in the largest quarter-hour rating for the show, helping it draw a 3.25 overall household rating during a week that no one expected a big number from. Of course, his popping the rating could easily be due to the fact that we haven't seen him on TV for a while. He wouldn't necessarily bring in that kind of viewership every single week. It's just a special attraction, but if he does return, it's obvious what kind of storyline he will be placed in. WWE are considering giving wrestlers actual time off in order to rest up and recharge themselves. Obviously, this has huge potential benefits. It would avoid the risk of talent becoming burned out, getting re-injured because they're working hurt. although there is concern that it would make house shows run trickier without Cena or Daniel Bryan headlining the events. WWE also contacted Chris Jericho last week about potentially making a return to the company. However, he does have a number of projects right now that he is committed to, so it does remain unlikely that my new best friend will be returning anytime soon. Rey Mysterio's contract is coming up soon. There are rumours about his status in the company. He has been talking to Vince McMahon, but it looks like he will be signing a new deal, which will be in an ambassadorial role. We'll let you know what happens with that one. A new report says that a scuffle went down backstage, a real-life altercation between Sheamus and Sin Cara. Right now, a few details are available as to the cause, whether it's actually happened or not, but it was at the Raw or SmackDown tapings earlier this week. One source cited that Sin Cara got the better of Sheamus in the altercation. Sheamus went to his Twitter account to deny this. He did, basically go off on one of the internet fans, the dirt sheets, his relationship with Triple H. Previous rumours suggest that Yoshitatsu also once got the better of Sheamus in a real-life fight as well. John Cena was held off on Raw this week, and instead they saved him for the WWE main event show as a way to raise the profile of the series and the WWE network. At this time, the company's main goal is to get the subscription numbers up. They desperately want 1 million viewers and weren't happy with the launch numbers despite them spinning it with press releases for obvious reasons. The fear is that numbers are trickling in now, that most fans have signed up for the initial launch and WrestleMania 30. There's also fear that numbers will be dropped once the 6-month subscription period expires. Armando Estrada posted a message on Twitter. You should remember him as being the manager of the late Umaga. He revealed what Bray Wyatt said to Vince McMahon when he was taken off TV as Husky Harris 3 years ago. He wrote, "I was backstage when Orton Punk kicked Husky Harris off TV 3 years ago. Afterwards, Harris waited for Vince and told him, 'I'll be back.' Hashtag Bray Wyatt." Certainly stayed true to his word. Natalie Slater, a close friend of CM Punk, came up with the straight edge heel persona. She wrote an article on a friend Punk quitting wrestling and how he is still a centre of attention to fans. You can find it online, but what should be noted is that she mentions that he is now retired. Brock Lesnar could wrestle at the upcoming WWE Night of Champions event in September. Lesnar wasn't booked at Extreme Rules, so some of his dates have been reportedly backloaded. This could be done in order to continue his feud from SummerSlam. This is interesting. When Sheamus kicked Dean Ambrose during the WWE United States Championship Battle Royal, it was supposed to be the beginning of his heel turn. Apparently fans haven't quite caught on to the fact yet, so it will be interesting to see if they make him more apparent this coming Monday, or if they continue a slow build-up sort of heel turn for the Celtic Warrior. John Cena reportedly wants to work with Big E at some point down the line. It's possible that they'll do something after SummerSlam. Cena and Big E obviously are very good friends in real life. Cena was the one who lobbied WWE management to give him a push. That's obviously also the reason for his Intercontinental title run. The monitors backstage at Extreme Rules were sold out, basically meaning everyone in the back was watching the match for the WLC between El Torito and Hornswoggle on Sunday. That's great for them, but it would have been nice if the announcers weren't laughing during the dangerous spots in the match. The United States and Intercontinental title unification talk has come up again in the WWE, but there may be smoke to the fire this time, with both Barrett and Sheamus as champions headed into the European tour. We're likely to get a Jack Swagger vs Adam Rose match for the payback, as I've said. That's what it looks to be based off WWE main event on Tuesday, and that's a great place to do it because that Chicago crowd reacts to pretty much anything. Japanese wrestler Sakamoto, he's been re-signed by the WWE. You might remember him as the man who was assisting Tensai, then Lord Tensai, before he was released in May 2013. He was at NXT on Friday in Orlando and he's been near the area for days. There are some claims that Sakamoto was brought in to help translate for Kenta when or if he arrives. Obviously this is just a rumour. It's not 100% confirmed that Kenta will even debut for the WWE. As I said last week, if you don't know who Kenta is, then I urge you to type his name in on YouTube. Kenta, simple. Watch his matches in Ring of Honor, most notably against Daniel Bryan, our WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Great independent wrestler. He's also the inventor of the GTS, the finishing move CM Punk uses, so do check him out. Fantastic wrestler, and let's hope he actually does wrestle in the WWE one point before he retires. That is this week's news. Obviously nothing special, and I apologise for that. Again, Arif and Imran are here to reflect on any of this also. It does make it a little bit more difficult, but if you do have any of your own news, please let me know in the comments below. finally, as you may remember last week, Arif asked myself and Imran our thoughts and predictions on the Extreme Rules card. It's not the simple predictions, but Arif always puts something on the line. For WrestleMania, the loser was forced to watch and review Scooby-Doo WrestleMania Mystery. It still upsets me, but I lost that and I reviewed it. You can go back for, if you know any weird reason you want to listen to that review. Go back to the episode. I think it was 2 or 3 episodes ago. This time for Extreme Rules, the loser had to review a Christmas Bounty and episode 1 of Legends House. So let's take a look at that card once more to finish off and see who will be reviewing that. El Torito versus Hornswoggle. Myself and Imran picked El Torito. El Torito won that match, 3 points each. Cesaro versus RVD versus Jack Swagger triple threat. We both went for Cesaro and both received 3 points each, still a draw, but Arif did offer a bonus point if we can guess who gets pinned. Unfortunately, we forgot to mention it was an elimination match, but regardless, we did both say RVD would get pinned. He did get pinned, so because I am now in charge, I'll give us both an extra point there. That's 7 apiece now. Rusev versus Truth and Woods, both correct, both got 3 points. Big E defended the Intercontinental Championship against Bad News Barrett. Bad News Barrett walked out the victor, and in that he was a new champion. I picked Barrett to walk out as champion, so that's 3 points to me. But Imran picked Big E to retain. No points for Imran. I take the lead with that. And just for the sake of it, Arif did also think Barrett would walk out. Barrett will walk out as champion, which he did. We then both went for Evolution to win, and a bonus point was on offer to see who gets pinned. Evolution lost, so no points or bonus points were achieved there by either of us. Bray Wyatt defeated John Cena. We both picked Bray Wyatt, both received 3 points. However, more bonus points, bonus points for how the winner would win. I picked Bray Wyatt to win via pinfall. Imran picked Bray Wyatt to win by escaping the cage. Imran obviously won, gets the extra point. That's still 16-14 to me. Moving on, we both picked Paige to win and retain a championship, another 3 points each, and we both picked Daniel Bryan to win, again 3 points each, quite similar, just one result was different. Obviously our picks on who would get pinned and who would pin in the Evolution match were different, but obviously that result was wrong, and the where Bray Wyatt would win was also different. Imran obviously got points there, which means the loser, but more importantly, has to review Christmas Bounty and episode 1 of Legends House is Imran. I left Extreme Rules with a score of 22, whilst Imran finished with 22 points behind. That Barrett win, my Barrett win, cost him a lot. So tune in next week, or it could be the week after that, in all honesty, that it could be where Imran will be reviewing Christmas Bounty. What a film, that's Oscar nominee right there. I for one cannot wait for the reviews. I'm excited for it and for whatever he has to say. So what were your predictions? Did you get them all right or not? Let us know in the comments. But I am afraid that's all I have time for. I'm sorry it's short, but you know, something is better than nothing. No theory this week as Arif isn't here, and it took me 3 hugs and 2 heartfelt letters filled with apologies to console him over me hijacking his theory of the week 2 weeks ago. So I don't want to be going through that painful thing again. It still haunts me. So hopefully he and Imran for that matter as well. We'll be back next week. If not, you now know that it could just be me again, just how you like it, but we will see. So thank you for listening. Keep giving us thumbs up, likes, comments, recommendations, downloads, tweets, anything else you can think of. And another reminder, as I said earlier, we do have a new video up on this channel looking at the 20 greatest disses of 2013, greatest insults, if you will, from the year 2013. Just a couple of clips put together by us. Please take a look at that. A lot of time went into it, and I hope you enjoy it. Give that the likes and comments and views as well. We would appreciate that. Once again, the link will be in the description below. But yeah, that's all I have time for. Thank you for listening and supporting. Please subscribe if you are brand new to the channel. And yeah, keep checking out the Main Event Podcast every single week for hopefully new content, and I will see you next week.